dead. Hello and welcome everybody back to Overwatch All-Stars Brawl number 5 presented by Star Esports. Today we're going to be having a double elimination tournament dedicated to our Overwatch Tier 3 community. Today we're going to be witnessing Castaways versus Shattered Dreams in the losers bracket, match number 7 to be exact. I'm going to be Sir Waltham, and today I'm going to be joined by the ever-charismatic Moshi Man. Moshi, how are we feeling today?
Oh, you oversell me. I'm doing great. I'm really excited to see what we have in store today. Castaways and Shattered Dreams, both really high-quality teams, placing very well in Open Division, which we recently concluded. So their clash will be quality, I believe.
I certainly like to hear that. Now, Moshi Man, word on the street is we're going to be starting on King's Row. Very excited to hear that. What do you think we can expect to see out of these teams coming straight onto the field?
Well, Castaways is going to be on defense, and we saw them play a few weeks ago and kind of almost like lose on defense against a team against Turbulence, I believe. That was like a couple weeks ago, and they were, they ended up winning that series, and I think they had a bunch of substitutes in that match. So they don't have as many subs this round. They have a bunch of players on their main roster. They're all going to be on their mains, and so I think when they are on defense, they're going to be, and attack, of course, they're going to be really able to express their quality and skill, and they're probably going to be pretty good. Like, they're not going to fail. They're going to do great.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. We were talking a little bit about the numbers earlier when we were just kind of going over these teams' open division stats. If I remembered, and I'm not going to take credit for this, I'm going to say that you and our producer were absolutely doing the footwork here for me, but I believe it was Castaways with 42nd in open division, Shattered with 27th. Does that sound about right, Moshi?
That's what I have written down here. So Castaway is ranked lower than Shattered Dreams, but with a pool that large as an open division, maybe just some variance kind of made that difference. Both teams are going to be looking really strong. There's no deficiencies in these teams at this point, especially because Castaways has all their main players right now.
Yeah. And I mean, if we even look internally within this tournament, it's kind of hard to get a vibe so far, because we've been seeing a lot of no-shows, a lot of games we've had the opportunity, we've missed out on the opportunities of, obviously for us casting, but then for the viewers at home watching, and it's harder to get a read on teams when you have less games to give you that data. So I think that kind of further throws a wrench in things here, but it makes me even more excited to get these few games we have casted and get them in the books.
For sure, we're gonna have high quality teams here. No forfeits today.
Well, no forfeits for right now. We're going to have to see how the next few games pan out for the time being. But Moshi Man, I believe we are just waiting on these teams to get ready. Might be waiting on some profiles to get all set up. I don't believe we do have that interview beforehand, as we typically don't during the losers bracket. So I think we are just waiting on those teams to get ready, get themselves all set up, and then we can be good to go into the dark streets of King's Row, I guess.
Well, the tension is palpable, that is for sure. As you said, we're in the losers bracket, right? Or the lower ranking bracket.
Yes.
And so that means the team that loses this match is going to be, it's double elimination, so they're going to be removed from the participant pool, and the winner will move on and go further here, so moving their way towards the finals. And that's always exciting. So there's a lot on the line for these teams, and they're definitely going to be bringing their all, right? Like, they know that if they lose now, they're gone. So definitely going to be a head-to-head clash. Yeah.
I have to agree for both of these teams now, whether they lose tonight or next week or at the end of the month. Every game from here on out for them is going to be make it or break it, because if you lose even one in the lower bracket, you're out, and you're absolutely right. It does kind of put the pressure on. Hopefully it makes these teams kind of rise up as Cream does. I've heard when it separates, Cream rises to the top. So hopefully both these teams are getting ready to really kind of put on their best gear, get their best strats going here. I'm still looking very forward to seeing what they run here as soon as we do get this match started off.
I definitely agree with you there. Going to be really hype. I know previously from casting Castaways, that they kind of start out with the regular meta composition. I've seen them run that kind of right off the bat, and then they are definitely willing to adapt to what the opposing team is doing. So I think their plan to play the meta is going to be solid. They'll have D.Va, they'll have Mei, right? So a lot of that is going to be seen right out of the gates. Once these teams get a feel for each other, I think we're definitely going to get maybe some more off-classing picks, some direct counters to maybe someone who's very dominant on the opposing team.
That's what I like to hear, Moshe. I love hearing about those big brain plays. And while we have a moment, we are going to be loading up Kings Row. But speaking of big brain plays, it would be a big brain play if you, the viewers, made sure to subscribe to us, made sure to follow us, give us those Discord likes, the Twitter follows, whatever the case may be. We love seeing that social media endorsement. So be sure to show off your big wrinkly brain by giving us those endorsements. You can find the links in the Twitch chat below, I am sure. And Moshe, we have a few moments before we actually get locked into Kings Row. Now, if you've ever seen any of my casts, Moshe, you will know that I always talk about the probability of a Pharah on any map, and it's not likely at all. I'm going to say it's not likely at all, but explain to us what might be perhaps a little bit more possibly seen from these teams.
Well, I already kind of started that in the beginning there. Castaways, probably going to come out right with the defense or the defensive meta. And so we're going to see Mei, who's going to really be able to warp the map. Reinhardt with his big shield, going to be able to protect his whole team. Potentially like Ana, right?
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me. We are going to come in with a pause here real quick. But before we get too into it, like McCree, I mean, we're going to see McCree. He has high damage. Especially on defense, he has that CC, right? He has crowd control with the grenade. So if they want to dive in at all, because there's going to be D.Va, probably someone who wants to flank on the backline, maybe Reaper, and kind of can stall that push out in combination with Mei. So it's just a bunch of crowd control, giving them as many opportunities as possible on the defense. On the offense, I think they're going to want to have, easy picks, right? They're going to be sneaky, really, really aggressive. They got to get through that choke really quick, and they want to take the first point really fast. That's something about hybrid is you want to take the first point like ultra fast because it gives you such an advantage, and you're not stuck without the cart moving at the first choke.
Well, that logic certainly seems to check out. We will have a little bit of time before those doors open up and before we can actually see the full rosters of the team. But once again, folks, as this battle music gets us hyped up, don't forget, if you're liking what you're seeing, also, I forgot to mention a little bit earlier, throw down a vote in the MVP chat below. Make sure you let us know who you think is popping off as these gates are going to be opened up. You can hear the countdown. You can see the gates opening up, and we're taking it to the streets of Kings Row. Now,
Indeed we are. Indeed we are. They had, just so you know, because you couldn't see, they had a Widowmaker kind of looking from the high ground there. They've switched off of that, and 60 is now playing McCree. As they go onto the point here, he's going to be able to contest Chopper. And there's quite a brawl with Shattered Dreams establishing their dominance on the point.
Yeah, Shattered Dreams already taking a very rough head start. We're going to be getting 2 kills early out into the gate. That's going to be very advantageous for them considering how long it takes the defense to really get built up right here. And Castaways not really holding for anything right now, and even a sleep dart on the legit Shadow. That's going to be unfortunate. The flashbang, the left clicks by 60, and with that, a very fast first cap.
That's exactly what they want to see, right? Lots of damage coming out. They moved as a whole unit, and now they're going to be able to push up to basically the second point. Just going to kind of give... The tanks are going to make as much space as possible for the rest of the team coming in. And maybe once they get a little bit low on their shield and damage, like their health, they're going to have to fall back. But they have the space they need, and Castaways is not pushing out of that choke. They're just going to let them roll up a little bit until their whole team is with them.
Yeah, right now we can see the Mei wall coming up, separating Jinja from the rest of the team, but they're going to get the nano, or excuse me, rather, that's going to be Lamavir getting the nano, going and swinging big, and now it looks like they're finally going to start getting a little bit aggressive with it. Claim the cart, not before it gets through that first heavy choke point, though.
Sometimes that can be an issue, but as we can see here, Castaways pushed up extremely far and keeping Shattered Dreams in their spawn. If you look at the ult charge now, though, we saw the nano come out to make that happen. It made it so Lamavir has 82%, but there's 3 ults, almost 5 on the side of Shattered Dreams. So they're going to have to be really careful to balance these ults. There's not going to be any drive pushes from Shattered Dreams on at this point. They're going to take this control point.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the McCree pop that high noon, but a Maywall coming in, blocking a lot of vision. McCree going to be popping it into another enemy Maywall this time around. Nobody really dropping yet. Now we see the counter high noon coming in from Chopper. The McCree, or the Lucio speed coming in just to maneuver him a little bit better. Not going to find any value from that either. And right now, both teams trying to play this corner, and they're not really getting much effect to it either way. But the Vanguard eating the Blizzard from Jakarion is a crucial ult usage. And the same cannot be said for Dash's Blizzard as it goes in and freezes 2-3 members of the defending team. And with that, they just look to be getting rolled right here through street space. It's going to be a quick cleanup on the ship, and the cart keeps moving.
So we see, you know, kind of the predicted outcome there based on ult usage and ult abilities. The eat on the Blizzard was huge. That was kind of the last-ditch effort from Jakarion there. And the fact that it was eaten made it so there was nothing doing. And now there's 4 ults on the sides of Shattered Dreams, and this is going to be really tough if Castaways wants to contest.
It certainly will. A Shatter trying to come in, only going to be finding... No, neither Shatter going to be finding anything, actually, and the Diva Bomb coming in from ship. The response from the Lucio sound barrier. Dash taking down ship while they're demech'd from that bomb. And right now, Kill slightly going in favor of the offense right now. Lucio trying to stall out on the defense, but Vanguard quick to just turn them into a bumper sticker on the hood of that Diva mech. And with that, Vanguard cleaning up the tanks, absolutely getting aggressive here, and they're going to capture the second point for it.
Oh, there we go. They still have 2 ults, and Castaways has basically won right now, with Flutie going to have the beat, dropping the beat eventually. They're going to have to probably do that in the face of the high noon if 60 gets into a good position, and they're going to have to watch out for the Blizzard from Dash. So unless Ship can eat another Blizzard, that would be going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, and 60 going to be finding that high noon onto Flutie, meaning that sound barrier not going to quite be finding as much as it might have needed there. And with that, we're going to be seeing the Reinhardt's kind of going toe-to-toe right now. The Earth Shatter coming in, getting 2. Thought it might be getting a little bit more of the backline, not quite. It's going to be enough to take down Jakarion, however. Slamavir going a little bit too deep, can't be bailed up by their Ana or their McCree. And speaking of that, Chopper going to be getting slept, slowed down by some May Blizzard. Vanguard going to be cleaning them up. The cart continues to move.
Well, Shattered Dreams has the momentum they need to push to the last point. They've got 2 ults in the face of the 2 ults from Castaways, and they may have the beat drop ability coming up. This last point, everyone's going to rush to the point as they use the high noon on the high ground.
Yeah, and certainly Chopper going to be trying to get some value with that, and not finding anything though. Jakarion going to be finding a little bit more value with this Blizzard. In fact, going to be locking a few people down, not quite enough to secure any kills except for Jinja though. And the sound barrier now coming out once again from Q-Tip, keeping the entirety of the attack team alive, and the kills coming in so big. Alexio even throwing their hand into the fray there, getting a nano, or getting a anti-nade kill. And with that, we're seeing the 3rd point get captured. Plenty of time left on the bank here, Moshi.
3 minutes, that's really quite fast on King's Row. There's a lot of corners that you can stall out on in that last capture point. And we didn't really see Shattered Dreams lose a fight decisively. I mean, they got pushed back at the first corner, after like the first choke after the capture point. But like they were pushed back to spawn, they regrouped, they instantly moved past the archway, and then from then on, it was easy sailing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think, for the now attacking side to kind of make a similar time. There weren't any times where we really saw the last offense really get held up. There were a couple times where the cart got stalled, but they didn't really seem to lose too many fights, or any fights actually, going through that entire phase.
Right, and even when they lost a fight, they weren't giving a bunch of ultimate charge and or losing too many resources in the face of that barrier, that resistance. And like I never saw a point where they were kind of on the back foot for an extended period of time. So that contributed definitely strongly to that really quick time bank, or the really large time bank they have now.
Have to agree with you. Momentum can certainly be a swing player in a lot of these games. We're gonna have to hope if Castaway can run with that same momentum 5 seconds until the gates drop, and we'll get to see exactly how they execute here.
Basically mirrored comps from last time. Chopper probably going to try to get a cheeky headshot, but quickly switching to McCree as Castaways pushes through the choke point, or at least they try to.
Yeah, looks like Lameth here just using the shield to scout a little bit, perhaps trying to see what abilities go on and offline. And immediately the Maywall coming out, gonna section off Jinja. And right now getting so low, eventually gonna be cleaned up, but at the cost of Lamavir and Jakarion right now. Numbers not looking great for the offense, but they do have the respawn advantage working for them. And right now, both teams playing the angles, but that gives a good opportunity for the defense to regroup, recompose, and get their team healed back up. They're doing such a good job right now of getting healed up. And Legit Shadow actually going to get a little bit sectioned off from the rest of their team, but it looks like the rest of the offensive team ready to recollapse. And the anti-nade going to be going on to 60 and Vanguard, meaning they can't quite get healed up as they might need. They're just going to wait it out and eventually let the healing come through. Vanguard getting a double off the back of some good old blaster action. A little bit of help coming in from 60 there. And right now, the offensive team looking a little bit scattered, but eventually they will be cleaned up, it seems. Alexio getting a lot of shots in here for an Ana.
Seriously, they weren't pressuring Alexio that much. They had great positioning, and the whole team just kind of was scattered, and a little bit on Castaways was a little bit scattered and unfocused. And so the Maywall doing a huge, playing a huge part in that. It was able to trap Jakarion and potentially Lamavir as they attacked the point, and so they basically just sectioned off the team.
Ooh, and another big Maywall coming in right after the Earth Shatter from Jinja, but it's not going to be enough as the kills come in. A lot of melee kills. That might be the most melee kills I've ever seen in the kill feed at once, but with that, a quick fight.
That was like 3 or 4. Geez, well, that was quite impressive. That Maywall stopped the Shatter, but it really just didn't matter. Now we see a ton of ults on the side of Shattered Dreams, with a couple coming up, or like 4 coming up from Castaways. So this next fight, they're gonna have to force out a few of those ults. The decision they have to make here is whether they want, Castaways wants to use ults, or whether they want to dry push to force ult usage.
Well, Shattered Dreams already going to be using and kind of wasting an ult with that Blizzard Dash, going to be eaten up by Ship, but Ship already demech'd, hit with the anti-nade. Chopper dropping that Deadeye, going to be finding something with it in the terms of Dash. The Nano Boost, however, going on to Jinja. Right now, that Reinhardt going to be swinging like a madman. It is a little bit scrappy of a fight right now. The Earth Shatter coming in, going to be landing on a couple, and the offense clean it up. They really need to here. Jakarion and Ship going to be the only ones on point with a little bit of healing from Legit Shadow, but Legit Shadow going to be focused down by that. McCree really have the pressure put onto him. 60 cleaned up by Chopper though. McCree defending their Ana support. You gotta like that. And talking about defending supports, Q-Tip absolutely bailed out by Vanguard with that Diva Matrix coming in, protecting McCree left clicks from finding any value. And with this, again, enough time for the defense to stabilize. Well done, Shattered.
Amazing work there. They were just able to win their 1v1s and kind of position themselves in defensive positions. We saw Ana not being pressured, specifically Alexio, and just healing up Ginja like as he was nanoed, even though he got charged and stunned on the back wall. Just like they were doing everything they could to heal up, remain defensive, and they were committing to the defense at that point. Like, there was no chance. That was one of the fights that Castaways had to win, and now they're going to have to struggle on this one.
Yeah, and now we're going to be seeing the Deadeye pop. Lamavir actually going to be down, but a lot of ult kills coming through here. 5 Diva kills, a High Noon kill coming in as well. We are getting bare bones in the fight right now. It's both supports left for both teams. I'm saying, excuse me, the Mei and the Lucio versus an Ana and a Lucio right now. Dash going to be looking to lock down the Ludi's Lucio right now. And the tank's going to be getting back for the defense. Dash even using that Blizzard just to keep the point locked down a little bit more. Overtime's going to tick over. Can somebody make it to point? Sound barrier to lock it down, and no, the defense will hold sure on first.
Well, that's quite impressive. You know, if we're going by open division ranks, I wouldn't think that that kind of thing would happen right off the bat, but it just, you know, attests to the quality of those little bit higher rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a nutty fight to see just so many ult kills, and both those Diva bombs getting, I think, a collective 5 kills between both of them. I need a breath, Moshi. I need a minute.
Well, you know, as you breathe, you know, think about these beautiful Overwatch plays that we're watching here, and think about who you want to vote for MVP.
Yes, I certainly have a few players in mind who are certainly looking very suitable for that MVP, although I'm going to be a little bit more conservative. I'm going to save my vote till the end of the match. However, if you already got a favorite locked in, be sure you let us know. Moshi and I definitely want to know who you guys think are popping off. Now, Moshi, we just saw King's Row, meaning we're not going to see another hybrid map. Thank goodness. I don't know if my heart could take it. Do you have any ideas of what we might see next?
Well, Castaways has enjoyed playing, I believe it was Busan in the past. That might be too specific. They may just be good at control. But Shattered Dreams is going to pick one map to ban, and Castaways will then pick the map that they want to play. So we're going to wait on what Shattered Dreams picks to get too much further into that. But I know that Castaways likes to play Control Point, and they've looked very strong on Busan before. They're able to use, their tight-knit teamwork to control the point and freely move around as a unit, putting pressure on, the back line of Shattered Dreams. Shattered Dreams clearly also at the same level, so yeah, we're going to see some high-level strats here, and Control Point can always be a bit suspenseful, especially if you are like 1-1 on the first round, 1 and 2. So.
And it looks like we're going to hear from Shattered Dreams. They want to go ahead and ban Gibraltar, and Castaways coming in rather quick with a pick onto Rialto. So certainly going to be seeing those maps come, well, one go out, one come in, I guess, in that fashion. And I like it, Moshi, and I told you, I warned you before. I'm going to talk about it. I like it because there's at least a sliver of a chance of Farah on Rialto on first point.
There is. I mean, we see Farah fairly frequently, I guess, on this point. Like, there's environmental hazards where you can just get booped off, right? And especially on the defense, which Shattered Dreams will be on defense first this round, as they decided. The Farah can boop off into the lake, just like Lucio's staple. So and sometimes we've even seen Orisa on the defense with her gravitational pull thing. That again, combined with, even Farah's ultimate, is a strong contender for kind of a mini grav combo.
Yeah.
And it can pull people right off the map. Like that, it's just the small extra utility each one of those abilities has can kind of push your team over the edge. And you might want to switch off later in the map, at least for first and second point.
Yeah, I mean, anything you can kind of do to make those mini optimizations, you're going to want to do. I definitely have to agree with you there. And of course, how could we forget about the insta-kill capabilities of, like you mentioned, the halt and the concussive blasts, just knocking somebody into the water. And apparently nobody in the Overwatch hero roster can swim, so they just instantly drown. So with that being said here, we have a little bit of time to kind of ponder and prolificate, or if you're me, you have time to advertise our social media. So don't forget, guys, follow us on that Twitter. Follow us in the Discord if you're feeling especially nice. We love seeing you. We love having you. I know that I like seeing our community grow, and I'm sure Moshi does as well. And I'm also sure he doesn't mind me speaking for him because we're tight like that now. But with that, be sure to like us, follow us, vote for those MVPs. Just that maximum engagement, fams. And with that, Moshi, what do you have to say about Rialto that we haven't already covered?
Well, outside of Farah and Orisa and Lucio, we know Lucio is staple. Someone might have to come up with a counter to Farah, right? Whether they want to leave it to Farah v Farah and then add in a Mercy for that nice BLT sandwich, I don't know. Or are they going to play McCree to counter the Farah? That's a huge thing. I know that I've seen Chopper switch to Farah a couple times before previously in this tournament, so that could be a possibility. As we open the gates right now, though, Chopper is on Widow, looking to get another cheeky pick right off the bat.
Now we're going to see if they can find it. They try to go for that Lucio in Q-tip, not going to be able to be successful, however. And right now, we're not going to be seeing too much Farah action take to the skies right out of the gate. It's going to be the standard Ryan Diva comp with a McCree May. Both sides looking a little reflective right now. A mirror comp actually coming through. And we see now the side of Ship on the offense, trying to take this high ground, maybe thinking that they might need to hold it, contest it for a little bit. They decide to hop off almost immediately, though. Jakarion and Legit Shadow getting brought dangerously low. And now it's kind of a flip of the roles here. Now it's going to be Ship staying on the low ground. The rest of their team going to be taken up that high. The Mei wall coming in, separating the tanks and Mei from the rest of the healers, as well as 60. And a Mei wall coming in, almost separating off everybody, but in fact, everybody going to be able to navigate that on the offense. rather easily. No kills coming in quite yet. Dash and Q-Tip both getting hit by the anti-nade coming in from Legit Shadow. And Legit Shadow paid for their services by getting hit with a Sleep Dart. Going to be taking a little bit of a nap here. The first one to fall, Lamavir. Finally, after this slugfest of a game, we're going to be seeing the first fall. The offense going to decide that they don't want to take that anymore, and they're going to slowly back out.
They're going to stagger the Ana on the far side here, unless they can get back to the team and kind of get some defenses up. Oh, yep, looks like Legit Shadow is going to survive there. So that was just a brawl, right? There were no ults to be used, and we're going to have another brawl coming up, but it's stopped by the Mei wall, so...
Oh, and Lamavir going to be going there, throwing that Earth Shatter right into Jinja's shield. Gonna be feeling a little bit bad. Their ship getting demech. Legit Shadow gonna be cleaned up by an icicle. And Chopper almost getting brought down by Vanguard, but instead gonna be getting the demech. This baby diva in an uncomfortable position of being stalled just a little bit. And with this Chopper coming in, cleaning up from the back, Alexio trying to take out that value McCree, but it looks like the offense finally regained some ground.
There we go. We can see now why Rialto may have been the pick that Castaways wanted. They know how to manipulate that high ground on that first push, even though it didn't quite succeed off the bat. Mei, specifically Jakarion, got booped off by the Lucio, who was predicting them to push on the high ground. But now they've captured the first point.
Yeah, they captured the first point. They're going to be investing that Blizzard into it. Jinja going to be frozen, but behind a Mei wall and with an Ana constantly healing them. Lamavir going to be slept, and I don't know what, ship taking a boop off the map by Q-Tip. We were talking about the boop potential here a little bit earlier. Was not expecting it to see it on the second point more so than the first, though.
Sometimes things just happen, right? You got to be careful. If you can't swim, you got to learn, guys. I mean, come on. Anyways... we see that Castaways has pushed up all the way here, giving the rest of their team a ton of space. That's exactly what you want to see. And there's going to be a brawl inside the house here. Probably a lot of Reinhardt swinging his hammer to try to just push all that damage onto the tanks and just let the cart roll through.
Yeah, Shattered Dream's going to be trying to take this defensive area in the building. So they have successfully taken top floor. They're trying to take overpass, but they don't quite look like they want to engage too hard into it just yet. Lucio leading a bit ahead of the team on the offense. And it's going to be Lamavir taking a pin, or taking a head-on collision, rather. And because of that, they're going to fall. Q-Tip getting some beats pumped into them. And with that, it does not look like the offense is left long for this world.
Definitely not. That was pretty clean there from... Shattered Dreams. Both teams now have a ton of ults, 3 ults on both sides, with Shatter coming up for Jinja. Man, I'm surprised they haven't used as many as they have. You know, I think both teams are kind of waiting to gain that advantage through momentum. Castaways has only lost a couple fights so far, so there hasn't really been a total all-out brawl yet. It's gonna happen soon.
A big anti-nade gonna be hitting Q-Tip and 4 other members of their team. Gonna be losing that sound barrier halfway through this fight. Both Lucios now down. And the Earth Shatter coming in, not gonna be finding anything. Lamavir been having a tough time with that. Vanguard gonna be finding a kill onto Lamavir, however. A lot of ults being committed here. The Diva Bomb, the Blizzard. And with that, it looks like it will have been enough. The defense continues to hold 60, continues gunning down the opposition. Jakarion gonna be taking a little bit of a swim.
That's pretty much what I think Castaways wanted. If they're keeping track of alt charges, properly as they should, they'll know that they're pretty much even now. With 3 ults still on the side of Shattered Dreams, not a lot came out. I believe they forced Blizzard out and Shatter, but nothing else too crazy. They've been cycling their ults really well.
Yeah, you have to agree with it. 60 going to be using that high noon, not really quite finding anything. Might have just been to discomfort the offensive team. And be receiving the nano boost, however, and the Blizzard coming out, about to lock some people down, even locks down Chopper on that, or 60 on that McCree, rather. The sound barrier coming out from Q-Tip that they didn't get to quite use earlier. Lamavir once again getting locked down, bullied, frozen every single sort of CC that they could experience. And right now, both Reinhardt's falling makes this a very messy fight. There's not any hard walls here. Maze and Divas and McCrees alike all battling onto the field, but it will eventually persist in favor of Shattered Dreams.
Very much so. We saw just the sheer ult advantage there, giving them what they needed to win that point. No ults on either side right now. We're just going to have to watch out for the Blizzard and the Shatter on the side of Shattered Dreams. not a ton coming out from, besides support alts, really, coming out from Castaways. So if they can cycle those in between the usage of freeze and shatter, then I think they can take this point. There's only 30 seconds left, and it looks like they're going for a bit of a high ground rotate here, trying to gain the advantage over specifically the Reinhardt, who has low mobility up the high ground there.
Yeah, they're going to have to do it a little bit quick, though. 15 seconds left on the clock. That's about 15 seconds left to get somebody on that cart before the game ends. They're going to be rushing quite aggressively. The Reinhardt going to be getting nanoed. Lamavir going to be looking to swing heavy this time, but still gets frozen. Gets earth shattered after that. Gets hit in a blizzard. This tank is getting bullied right now. Legit Shadow going to be taking out 60, but it does not seem to be enough as the defense continues to hammer away. And that's not even just the Reinhardt in this instance. The Diva Bomb going to be coming in from Vanguard just to secure Flutie's kill. And with that, it's one lone Diva on ship, trying to hold this cart down, trying to buy as much time as they can, but it is all for naught as the overtime clock ticks down. Sound Barrier coming in from Q-Tip, draws into the drink anyway. And with that, it's a second point hold from Shattered.
Yeah, I mean, they got to the first point. Castaways got to the first point pretty quickly. They only lost kind of one fight on there, but they just weren't able to round that corner. There was too much ultimate pressure, I think, from Shattered Dreams that, like, there was no way that Castaways could really get on top of it without Diva eating a freeze or not. I wouldn't say that it's a fluke play, but some sort of, it does have a certain element of luck to it, right? So a lucky play like that, or someone gets a really good flank, takes advantage of some sort of unawareness that Shattered Dreams had. Quite an amazing round there, and we saw Castaways push at least much further than they did onto King's Row. So despite them picking this map, they were not able to push all the way to the last point, still getting some decent distance.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if it looks any bit better for the offense of Shattered Dreams this time around. They did, I'd say, a pretty noteworthy job here on this last defensive phase, second point. It's not a bad defense, I certainly have to state. But with that, we are just waiting for these teams to get all ready up about 20 seconds before those gates open up. And you know what that means, folks. It means it's time for me to plug the MVP vote. So be sure to throw in whoever you think is popping off. Let us know. I'm going to get them in here at the end of the game. Hear a few words from them. And now, with just about 5 seconds left on the clock, we're going to see these gates open up once again. Can Shattered Dreams make it past second point?
Well, probably. Based on their previous performance, there may be some dreams being shattered for the Castaways. We already see the Maywall coming out, blocking off Lamavir, so the teams are definitely going to fight on this same corner. Let's see if Castaways can resist the Shattered Dreams assault in the same way that they did previously on defense.
And Lamavir getting sectioned off once again. That is not a spot this Reinhardt in particular feels comfortable around given their past performance. But both Reinhardts just trying to swing, not really finding too much damage. Chopper, we're going to hear that gun flaring off, trying to find a lot of damage, at least into the Reinhardt shield, wear it down just a little bit. Neither Reinhardt going to be too effective at building that ult charge too quickly. And we see the Maywall come out, separating the Lucio from the rest of the team. It will be just enough for Chikarion to be brought down. Ship going to be taking a little bit of a nap. Lamavir in a very tough spot, going to be getting hit by a bio nade, keeping them healed, then eventually hit with the nano boost, taking an anti-nade, but not going to be too bothered as they continue to swing forward, continue holding this like a great Vanguard right now. And with this, it looks like the offense going to be backing up for at least a little bit.
Well, we see basically even timing now. Castaways has extended this fight longer than Shattered Dreams, and they're winning now. But now we're going to see a bunch of ults, and this could be the decisive fight for the first point.
Yeah, Chopper going to be trying to invest that high noon, not going to be finding anything with it. And Lamavir not finding anything in comparison to Jinja's 2 kills on the Earth Shatter. Lamavir going to be missing a pin, but cleaning up on 60. The Sound Barrier coming out a little too late for 60, but the offensive Blizzard going to be coming in, Ship, one of the last few to stand point, and Lamavir, again, in a very uncomfortable spot, going for a pin. Vanguard ducking it and getting the kill onto them with a little bit of Diva pellets. And with that, the point continues to move forward as soon as this Lucio, played by Flutie, gets cleaned up. The cart continues to move for Shattered.
Well, it looks like they're going to try to contest onto the second point here. They know that the spawn moves forward, and that's one of their biggest advantages. We already see Reinhardt on the point. 0.01 meters until this is capped. Can Castaways contest to keep this advantage?
They're certainly going to have to ship throwing in a Diva Bomb just to kind of make a little bit of chaos for the defensive team. An anti-nade on the Lamavir and Jakarion. Jakarion got killed in the middle of their Diva or their Mei ult. I believe that Deep Blizzard did not go off. And the Mei actually receiving the nano boost from Alexio. Maybe taking a little bit of a nap, but that will not stop them from capping the point. And speaking of naps, Legit Shadow now going to be taking one.
Definitely a big stall there. Like now the Legit Ana is just going to be, you know, staggered the whole time on this point. That's going to make it really difficult for Castaways to contest. There's only one more corner until Shattered Dreams reaches the point where they need to contest, and Castaways are going to be without their main healer. This is going to be the make or break point, right? We already see the carts creeping up here, and we see Castaways on the high ground, definitely looking to challenge this final stretch.
Yeah, and we see the tanks kind of holding at both ends of the cart, neither one really wanting to give up too much, just swinging, trying to impose threat upon one another. A big anti-nade coming in from Legit Shadow. Doesn't look like it'll be able to capitalize too much. I speak a little too soon as we see an Earth Shatter from Lamavir getting 3, but the return Blizzard coming in from Dash going to be claiming a lot. 60 with that high noon coming in. Trying to just play around it, waiting for that shield to drop from Lamavir. Not going to be finding anything with it, but we'll clean up Chopper with a flashbang, presumably with the left clicks to follow. Not necessary, however. The Mei going to be the last one to stall. Jakarion trying their hardest. And that Diva not going to be able to make it to point as we see the side of Shattered Dreams carry it to second point.
I was a little bit hopeful there for Castaways. I feel like they had a strong hold on the first point, but you know, Shattered Dreams adapted their playstyle to push all the way through and win it in the end. So, what a boop.
Yeah, a classic boop coming in from a Q-tip. The healing as well, keeping everybody healthy, wealthy, and wise, as I like to say. You don't often get to see Lucio play the games that aren't too boop heavy, so anytime you get to see him, I like it.
It just kind of goes to show that there wasn't a ton of, like, based on that play of the game, it wasn't like a bunch of huge dramatic plays that really swayed that game. It was all the micromanagement that each team did to, you know, just gain the small advantages over each other. It wasn't a real decisive play that pushed one team over the edge, but just things like, you know, quality Lucio play and healing, just a little bit of boops, a few sneaky flanks. It all makes a big difference in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I feel like it kind of goes back to that mini optimizations or those micro optimizations that you get to make. Anything that can really get you that small hair's edge over your opponent, it can really lead to leaps and bounds when it comes to these score brackets. And speaking of the score, Moshi, if I have been keeping track properly, I read that we are 1 apiece.
Shattered Dreams is 2-0 right now.
2-0 on Shattered Dreams. My mistake. And now, yeah, that's a very interesting spot. That kind of flips the script completely. Shattered Dreams feeling pretty comfortable right now. Castaways, they're definitely gonna be fighting.
Definitely agree there. I mean, we've seen a little bit of a dominant performance from Shattered Dreams. Rialto, we saw Castaways gain quite a bit of ground. I know that they have said, based on a previous interview with Flutie, she has said that, you know, they are a little bit tense at the beginning of matches, and we're well into the mid-match now. So if any time is the time, it is now for them to, you know, make their reverse sweep, so to speak, and bring their the rest of their A game, because I'm sure they're doing the best they can, and it's working out great so far. Shattered Dreams is just one step ahead and is shutting down what they want to do. So Shattered Dreams looking great, looking all together. I don't think they're worried right now. Castaways is going to have to give them something to worry about.
Yeah, and it seems like you go back to that Shattered Dreams being able to pick apart the one unit or the one aspect of Castaways that they're able to find any advantage on. And I feel like for a lot of fights, not all of them, and I'm not sure exactly why this is, but Lamavir just absolutely getting torn apart in some of these fights. I feel like there's been, anytime Lamavir is even slightly out or slightly unable to be protected by his supports, it's just sleep darts, May freezes, shatters, everything that could be hitting this player. I think if Castaways want to kind of build themselves up, maybe really kind of enabling that player. I mean, I'm always going to talk about tanks here, Moshi, but I really do believe that that's a very good avenue of attack for Shattered Dreams, and perhaps something that Castaways need to be wary of moving forward.
Yeah, we've seen Lamavir getting separated basically every fight. The Reinhardt is a huge defensive staple in this meta. We're not any longer in the double shield. The Diva Matrix is basically there to maintain any sort of, flank damage, like kind of get rid of any flank damage and protect any ultimates coming out, right? So if you use the Diva Defense Matrix to its maximum utility, the shield is kind of just there for spam, right? And you don't want it to be taking huge damage like an opposing Diva Bomb, or you don't want your tank to be attacked, right? So you want to distract the rest of the opposing team with the amount of damage that you're doing behind that shield, so they can't pressure you. So Lamavir is getting really pressured, and so I think the rest of Castaways is going to have to focus frontally and focus their damage together. So they're just a little bit more coordination will bring them up to the same level as Shattered Dreams right now. Anyways, we're on Hanamura.
Yes.
We missed the Mac pick and the map ban, but that's not a problem because we're here amongst the cherry blossoms in Japan.
Yeah, and if this does go any further, for those of you who did not catch or who might be looking at these screens right now, I believe it was also Hollywood that was banned by Shattered Dreams. An interesting choice. I feel like Hollywood's a pretty consistent pick here at Moshi, but we are not needing to look towards Hollywood. We're now, as you mentioned, in the cherry blossoms. 10 seconds to go. Vote for the MVP. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and in the Discord. We are going to see these gates open right away.
Very much so. We have both comps pretty much the same. The only unique thing is we see Q-Tip from Shattered Dreams on Brigitte. So, going to be an interesting thing. Definitely looking to focus Reinhardt even more with that stun.
Yeah, and the Sim actually going to be coming in with the teleporter. We're going to be seeing some old school, at least relatively old school Sim strats right now, but Jinja not going to be having any of it, swinging big for the fences, claiming their kills. And with that, everybody but the Sim going to be suffering a trip back to spawn via the death taxi.
Well, it's worth a shot to go for that. Maybe, they're not expecting it. Only disadvantage is if you lose that. We already see that Ginja has 50% ult charge, 60 on McCree at 35%. Those are their highest scores right now, and it's just going to get higher. So they're already kind of now back off on the back foot. They're going to attempt the same strat as they rush the point.
Yeah, and I like what just happened here. We saw Castaways lay that teleporter. The Maywall comes up to block it, but as everybody's turning around to attack the teleporter, the cleanup absolutely comes through. And speaking of cleanup, now we're seeing the defense doing a little bit of cleanup on their own. Q-Tip on that frick. And be getting Chopper. Not a bad character to get out of the fight if you're looking to get rid of tanks, but Q-Tip not long for this world. Lamavir now swinging. Must have heard what we were saying, getting a little bit aggressive now, taking advantage. And with this, they're going to be making some progress on point.
This is a pretty nice attack so far. It's still quite a brawl on the point, though. But now we see the Castaways are on the point, asserting dominance as they get 2 kills, and almost are capping the point now.
Yeah, and Shikarion going to be owing a favor to Lamavir as they save them from the Reinhardt pin from Jinja. Coming in now, the point gets capped. We're going to be seeing them rush to second, a couple ultimates in their pocket.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see anything crazy like a staggered rush here where they rush in and just cap the point immediately. We already see Shattered Dreams on the high ground to the left if you're looking from the defensive perspective, and there's just a little bit of spam war going on right now. We see Soldier now always on the flank as usual. They probably want the utility of his healing and the mobility.
Yeah, the Diva Bomb going to be going in from a ship. Going to be finding one in Jinja. This is very good for the offense right now. Castaways looking like they're coming in with a vengeance. Dash going to be throwing down that Blizzard, but Dash gets cleaned up themselves. It's just Vanguard left on the point. The offense still able to claim some progress here. They're going to be getting the first tick. Jinja going to be trying to stall out. Only finds the Diva with that Earth Shatter. And on the opposite side, Lamavir going to be finding Jinja and I believe Vanguard. The Doomfist even coming out now. Dash taking down a Flutie. A couple kills. Chopper killing themselves with, I believe, some rockets. Not quite sure exactly what happened there. The offense was looking so good, but with these stall characters coming out, it gave the defense the time they needed.
Very much so. We saw basically what could have been a final attack there from Castaways. They got 1 full pick, though, which is huge, right? Just kind of that pressure on the point. And because they forced so many switches, they now have the ultimate advantage. So they're on the 4 foot. And I think they're basically halfway, a third of the way done with capping the point. If they can come through with one big attack here, kind of contesting on the high ground, just win out with those little micro abilities. They still got the soldier. They're going to use that ult to push in, and looks like they're also going to use the beat right off the bat.
Yeah, Chopper finding Alexio and Q-Tip. That is the little support available for the side of the defense right now. Chopper absolutely doing a chopping job, just mowing everybody down. They used to call the Tommy gun the Chopper, but I think whatever rifle Chopper's using has got to be it now. And with that, Alexio going to be sectioned off the point. Now gets to the second tick. Vanguard coming in, but walks right into some May Frost. Yeah, so close right now. And Jinja, again, on that Wrecking Ball, just trying to find something. 60 on the Widowmaker, getting 2 kills might be enough to turn it around here. Dash and Jinja going to be claiming some kills themselves. Ship in the baby diva form. Very uncomfortable. Going to be a very long stall before 60 puts them out of their misery.
Well, again, another almost capture there. Now they're at 2 ticks, and they're basically even. Again, Shadow Dreams has switched up their characters. They went to Widow. Now they're back on McCree, and Ginja switching, back to Reinhardt. We saw Doomfist come out. Like, all of these switches are kind of putting them at a disadvantage, but clearly they are winning each fight, right? Like, so they're making the right decision, but they're at a point of desperation now. A ton of ults, Shatter, May Freeze, Nano, all going to be able to come out from Castaways.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very inconvenient May walls coming out right now. Jakarion taking down 60, and the Nano Boost going out. Alexio going to be using their only ult in this fight for that, and it seems like perhaps Castaways going to be happy enough to leave it alone.
I mean, that was a huge value on that Nano. Reinhardt was able to use his hammer to just pick up like 2 or 3 kills up on that high ground. They were forced into the corner, or they were stuck in the corner, and there wasn't anything that they could do. As the rest of the team moved on, they were all just Castaways. The rest of Castaways were all just stuck there. So, still a ton of ults on the side of Castaways. They're gonna have to leverage it the proper way, though. Looks like they're just going to walk through the main and bring the fight straight to Shattered Dreams.
Yeah, an early kill onto Alexio, though. The Nano onto Chopper doesn't opt to use their tac visor yet. You're going to be using it as soon as it does come online. However, Vanguard getting burned down. That McCree as well in a dangerous position to get focused down by that soldier. Chopper continuing to clean up here, and that will just be enough to get that 3rd tick. The 2nd point captured for Castaways. They're going to be doing with a minute 18 left on the clock here, Moshi. That's good.
That's quite good, especially for Hanamura. The last point, I mean, can sometimes just be impossible to cap. So the fact that they were on the 4-foot basically the whole match, besides that beginning thing with the Symmetra, they were able to use their momentum from that initial fake out they had with the Symmetra teleporter to just rush the point and then have the advantage the whole time, right? When they were pushing. I don't want to say Castaways or I don't want to say Shattered Dreams is the better team, but Castaways was using, everything they could there to overcome the better team currently, based on the results of this so far. Of course, Shattered Dreams is 2-0 right now, and I think that the Castaways, they know what their place is right now and how they have to play. So amazing performance. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I am surprised that they captured the last point, especially with such a nice, comfortable time bank. I would say it's a comfortable time bank.
Yeah, certainly. I think I have to agree with you. If you're coming into this map, or to this match, rather, you don't have as much knowledge about these teams as, a standard person who pores over Open Division. Just based on the first 2 games, you might be very surprised to see how Castaways have just kind of barreled through Hanamura. Relatively speaking, of course, it wasn't like just a full roll through, but they got it with a bit of time, and now we're going to see them have to try to hold it, giving up less of a little bit of time. Anti-Nade going to be going on to Jinja early, as well as 60. Not going to be too bothered by it. They'll still be walking up by the time it clears. High ground going to be held by Ship, who gets woken up rather immediately from Vanguard. Neither Diva going to be holding that high ground. Lamavir fire striking into a wall. The McCree, the only one able to really get sectioned off, as well as Alexio by that defensive May wall. And Lamavir going a little bit deep with Ship on that Diva may have been a little bit of showing their hand there. The May wall coming out, trying to get any kills they can, but it doesn't look like the power is quite there. The defense quickly crumbling right now, and it's just going to be the Lucio and May trying to stall out, but they will soon fall off the offensive power.
We see Shattered Dreams do this pretty much every fight. They know that they can beat Castaways kind of in a brawl, and based on kind of the match results so far, that is consistent. So no tricky Symmetra plays. They walk through the first point with the Maywall, just kind of angling and funneling Castaways into the Reinhardt hammer. So they just swing the hammer and do a ton of damage. There goes Legit Shadow off the side. Vanguard using those 3-second boosters to boot them off.
Yeah, we joked about Rialto. Oh, heroes can't swim. If you fall from a cliff at that height, you're probably dead, no matter who you are. That being said, it looks like the defense gonna have enough time to recoup their losses, not suffer too heavily. Ship caught out with their Reinhardt once again. It's sectioned off by that Maywall, and Lamavir gonna be hopping out the window, meaning that Reinhardt's gonna have to fight back on point. That high ground gonna be in a very precarious position. Maywall coming out, Ship gonna be freezing, or taking down a frozen 60 rather. And with this, it's a little bit brawly, not looking great for the offense considering the walk back times, but the defense not getting too aggressive with it yet. The Maywall gonna be stopping them as well. 1-2 columns now down. They're still not deciding to push forward. Not sure if they're just practicing a little bit of reservation. They're trying to make this fight go out a little bit longer, or they genuinely want to get more of an advantage. Either way, we're seeing the fight to where we can now have the entire offensive team get regrouped, and it looks like they're just going to be making the rotation to go down main instead. And D.Va going to be hopping down right on top of him. Ship going to be trying to claim that. The Maywall going up, almost giving 60 the high ground he goes, but Ship D.Va matrixes those bullets coming out of the barrel. Lamavir taking Jinja, and with this, it looks like the defense now going to hold a little bit steadier. Castaways claiming some opportunity and time here.
That's exactly what they want, right? Like, we know that the last point can be kind of impenetrable, so a great job there from Castaways to just kind of, in a little bit of a Mexican standoff between Shattered Dreams and themselves on the high ground. No one was pushing in, no one had ultimates. I don't think the teams really knew where everyone was at, but now we see 5 ultimates on the side of Shattered Dreams, which is huge. 3, almost Flutie, she's almost to the beat. And they're going to have to probably use that without any other defensive ults. Someone's going to have to get a lot of value on the side of Castaways to prevent this push from completely overcoming them from Shattered Dreams.
Yeah, you think Ship's at least going to have to work to eating that May Blizzard. The D.Va Bomb coming in heavy. Not going to be landing on anything. Ship's going to be using that D.Va Bomb. The Blizzard coming out in the meantime. But Jinja getting taken down. That Earth Shatter not going to be finding too much value there. 60 taking down Chopper. And right now the kills for the offense are coming in strong. Every ult in the book being used onto the field. Jinja going to be switching onto the Wrecking Ball to come back as quick as possible. But we're seeing a little bit of Stagger trying to come out onto the court. Chopper on this Doomfist coming out, just peeking their head out for a moment. The Earth Strike, or the Fire Strike rather, coming in from Reinhardt. Wrong element, I suppose. And 60 taking down Lamavir with that Deadeye. The Stagger not going to be too successful this time around. Jakarion going to be taking a little bit of a nap behind their Maywall, and with that 60 cleaning them up almost instantly. And again, the Stagger not quite succeeding here, buying a little bit of time, but 3 minutes on the clock. Lamavir hopping onto that ball, trying to find what they can, and Chopper using the slam, gonna not be claiming anything, instead taking an on a dart to the body. With that, the point will eventually flip over to Shattered Dreams. 2 minutes 45 left on the clock.
I feel like that's predictable. They're basically twice as efficient as Castaways were, so they only lost like 1 fight on the last push, and Castaways on the last point when they pushed, but Castaways lost 3 basically. Like there was a big play where Ginja got Nano, right? Again, I mentioned that when it happened, and I think that made the biggest difference for Castaways. It basically cut 45 seconds off their time. So not unlucky there, but a good opportunity taken by Shattered Dreams. Also, in the way of Castaways, right? They were able to get about 30 seconds of stall there, so that's good. About 2:10 or 3:10 since the fight really started on the point there. So they did what they could and brought it a little closer. So let's see if these sim strats, if they are going to run these Symmetra strats again on the offense as Castaways looks to attack.
Yeah, I think that Castaways, I personally think they might have gotten a little bit lucky with the sim strat the first time around. Yeah. I think that Shattered Dream's going to be even more aware of it. Jakarion You normally will see the Sim switch to Reaper, but Chopper already on the Reaper tells me that's not likely. They might be genuinely running this, and a lot of ult charge for Jinja off the back of that Fire Strike, building up about 26% as this fight gets taken place.
That's very nice. We see Dash here right at the choke point looking for that Mei wall, but the Sim teleporter is not really going to allow that to happen. And now it's an all-out brawl on the point.
Yeah, certainly that Mei wall trying to claim something, but Chopper able to claim the life of Jinja and quickly get out. Those Sim turrets getting set up are going to make defending this a lot more difficult. Right now, nobody really wanting to push in. 60 taking down Flutie, but all you really need to try to do is play these corners and try to play the angles where the Sim turrets won't get them the progress ticking up for the offense. They've almost got the second tick, and in fact, there it is. 35 seconds left on the clock. Just a little bit of cleanup. The break actually coming in from a Q-tip, but now the kills coming in for the defense. Both Ryan's going to be taking a little bit of a fall, but Jinja in a very dangerous place with that Reaper cleaning up on them. Not really going to matter, though. Q-tip taking the fall. And it is so close. Vanguard, the last one on point. Nobody there to contest. And with that, we're going to see the flip over to Castaways. They're going to take, I guess, third point first again.
Yeah, right. They're going to make it on that first attacking point there. And now they're going to have their work cut out for them. They've got 30 seconds to attack the last point. I think they'll be happy if they can get one tick here. It's going to be both teams basically at full potential here, but 3 ults from Castaways. If they can use this Sim wall to split the defensive team and maybe get a huge Death Blossom, this could be massive for Castaways.
Yeah, certainly. They're going to be keeping an eye on Vanguard to get that Death Blossom at optimal efficiency. Oh, but no, Chopper takes an early lead and an anti-nade. That is crucial. The rally coming out from Q-Tip keeps everybody bolstered just a little bit. The Earth Shatter coming out, not going to be landing on too much. Llama-Veer has an opportunity to return here. Going to be taking down Dash, but Dash kept alive by the Brig. 60 trying to claim some kills with the High Noon themselves. Not successful, though. Jinja shielding most of their team from the Diva bomb. Chopper unable to use that Death Blossom quite yet. Trying to creep on the point, get any value with it. The Diva getting D-mech. It is bare bones for the offensive team here. Not able to find anything. So unfortunate to lose that Reaper early, and once again during the Blossom, which going to be taking a Fire Strike, the Blizzard to lock down the point, and with that, not even a single tick given up by the defense on second.
Darn. Well, you know, we saw great usage of all the cooldowns there from Shattered Dreams. Like, they knew what they were doing, and the fact that they instantly recognized that Chopper was going to try to go for a huge Death Blossom really shut down what Castaways was trying to do. You know, of course, they were leaning on those ultimates to push onto this last point. Even if they would have gotten like a big ult off with the Death Blossom, the spawn rate, the defensive spawn timer is just so aggressive. They might not have even captured. So, like I said, 1 or 2 ticks would have been really nice for them there. But it's going to be difficult. It was difficult, and it's also going to be difficult for them to defend with 245 in the time bank on the defense for Castaways. So. Let's see what happens.
They're certainly going to have to make it happen here if they want to stay in this tournament, in this match, even looking at just that alone. And right now, we're seeing a little bit of a preview. I believe we see Chopper on that Reaper. We're going to see if that stays, well, I mean, it probably will stay to fruition, but we're going to see how much value it can find here. 5 seconds, folks. And remember, get those votes in. Potentially our last round here, so you want to throw in your MVP opportunities while you can. We're going to be seeing here, Chopper is going to be rolling out with that Reaper. We're going to be seeing 60 and Dash, McCree, Mei as well. We're going to be seeing the fight open up here. No Mei walls coming out immediately. Dash using the Mei wall just to block perhaps line of sight from the other Mei wall. Prevent that choke from being locked down as aggressively. And Chopper taking quite a bit of damage, but a big anti-nade coming through from legit Shadow. Going to make the entirety of the attacking team have to back off, reclaim this choke, which you really hate to do as that offensive team. And right now another Mei wall just to block line of sight. And the Mei wall from the defense going to be blocking that Mega Room. And they sectioned off the McCree 60. Focused down by Ship on that Diva. Not able to be supported out by the rest of their team. Going to really give the offense some pause for thought here.
Man, this is if you're Castaways right now, you're thinking like, we can do this. This is going to be it. They've already taken like almost a minute off of the time bank with no progress from Castaways. Or sorry, from Shattered Dreams. And there's a bunch of ults on the side, like a bunch of ult charge on the side of Castaways. Now we're gonna see those ults clash in just a few seconds after they build up their charges.
And another anti-nade on the Q-tip and Vanguard. Jinja taking a lot of damage, but going to be bailed out by the nano boost. Chopper as well going to be receiving the nano boost, but gets killed by Jinja. The return shatter claims a few from Llamaveer, but it does not look like it will be enough. Ship going to be trying to hold out Legit Shadow as well. Going to be keeping them healed up as much as possible. They want to buy as much time off this clock. The Diva Bomb coming in might claim the Ana. In fact, does claim Alexio. Alexio going to be dropping. As soon as the rematch comes in, though, Ship takes a pin. But to sleep on the Jinja right now, it looks possible for the side of Castaways.
Man, that was quite impressive. Diva and Ana there on defense must have been communicating right. She needed the heals to survive to get back into the mech. The Diva, who is played by Ship, right? But like, man, if you were on the other side of the bell for too long, you would have been taken out by Ginja, and that was some beautiful play there. Only 30 seconds left, and Shattered Dreams still hasn't capped the first point.
They still have not. Vanguard going to be frozen down, knocked a little bit away from their healers, not focused down too aggressively though. However, Dash gets cleaned up by Chopper. That is a good opening. The Maywalls allow for a lot more manipulation on the point, and the team's having to back out and regroup. This is not what Shattered Dreams wants. They're going to have to contest here within the next 12 seconds.
The beat is going to be huge here. They have Nano and beat, and they have bomb. I don't know what they're going to initiate with, but the beat is going to be critical.
They're going to be initiating with the bomb. Legit Shadow finding 60. That is taking out a large damage dealer. And Chopper getting the nano boost. Going to be taking down Jinja. The Death Blossom then coming out, not finding too much with it. Dash cleaning up Ship with a little bit of the right clicks. And it looks like this might finally be the swing for the offense that they needed. But I'm not saying that till the point is locked down. I felt sure before a sleep dart onto the Lucio. It's just now the Baby Diva on point. And Flutie not quite able to get the clean up, able to get the boop and the kill on the Vanguard. And the Earth Shatter coming in, going to be taking down both the supports. The Hammond Mines coming in on a Wrecking Ball, trying to keep everybody just scattered away. It is looking so tense right now, Moshi.
This is exactly what Castaways wants. Despite the spawn advantage for the offense, we see a huge stall coming out from Llamaveer and Carrion, right? Both of them are on the point, but they are on the back foot right now. Unless they can get lucky, I think they're going to have to defend the final point.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to do it. Chopper looking to get away. Alexio sleeping them, however, as they try to run towards them. Not going to still the stall coming out from Flutie. This team likes to stall out that point as much as possible, but it will be just no success as that third point does eventually surrender. We're looking at a one-push scenario here, Moshi.
Very much so. They only have to get one tick on the last point, and Castaways knows it. They're coming in with a huge amount of momentum. They've got two ults. They may be able to build the beat within the fight. We see Bastion and Orisa, double shield, high damage. They're committing everything to this Bastion. So if Dash can get in there, maybe dive on that Bastion, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm amazed we're not seeing a BAP Immort field on the point right now. The Deadeye coming in, trying to claim something. Jinja being focused down by that Bastion. This Bastion looking to just deal some damage. Nobody on either side dying. That is until Dash takes a few too many bullets. Jinja, realizing that they're in a tough spot, stuck between a rock and a hard place, will eventually put them into the grave. The res coming in on Llamaveer is finally going to be repaying that Reinhardt with a little bit of the revive coming in. And Chopper continues to mow down Q-Tip, being a little bit of a hazard, but they're going to have to watch out for those tank shells as Q-Tip absolutely eats one. And it looks like the draw is going to happen. Oh, we're going to a map 4.
Well, that's the best that Castaways could do with that kind of you know, offense, right? That's exactly that. I don't even know. No words. That was amazing. That was amazing. They committed everything to Bastion, and I don't know if Shattered Dreams was expecting it. But here's this massive fake out on the Castaways' first offense, or the Shattered Dreams' first offense.
Yeah, and overall, man, that was thrilling. I even saw Llamaveer get that res, and I'm like, they're finally
Yeah.
you know, paying back just a little bit. Llamaveer having to put up with quite a little bit of a brutality. But Moshi, you mentioned that, you know, this Castaways team is one that kind of likes to warm up as they get more through and through with the game. I think Shattered Dreams might be fighting a constantly evolving opponent at this rate, if Hanamura is anything to go off of.
Definitely. Although Hanamura is a tough map to play, maybe Shadow Dreams, I wouldn't say they haven't practiced it, but maybe they are less familiar with the strats that can be run on it, and just kind of started out with a little bit less information there. I don't know if that's true. Probably not. They're a great team. So is Castaways, as we saw from that defense. But a draw is always super possible on Hanamura. Like, I feel like it's one of the most drawn maps in all of Overwatch, just because of the spawn rate that you have on the defense, on the last point, and I mean, the first point almost always gets capped. Like, rarely do you see it go uncapped. So it's always that fight between the last point and the middle point that just, it's where all the action happens. And that can be exciting, or it can be, like, and even lead to a draw despite the excitement, or it can be boring and just last for 5 hours. So we didn't have that. We didn't have that here. This is an exciting map. Let's see what is going to come out on Lijiang, our next map.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for it. Castaway is going to be having the pick of the litter here. No bans coming in from Shattered, since we did just experience a draw. And Lijiang again. Moshi, Farah, talk to me about it. Gardens, please.
Well, Farah, she can shoot rockets, right? I mean, that's cool. But Farah is a legitimate pick here. On Gardens, there's even more environmental hazards than Rialto. But
yes,
these teams are at such a high level that using the EMP blast or the ricochet blast thing, like on the bridge, it's pretty much predicted. I mean, you don't see the team comp, but you will see Farah in the air, and so everyone's shouting, don't go bridge, or like stay off bridge, or careful of Farah, and everyone is now aware. So it's difficult to get a huge play. If you're on the high, like the front foot, and you're winning, it can kind of be used in a win more scenario. You're pressuring the opposing team that they're kind of getting desperate, and maybe they're not as aware as usual. But all of these problems can be solved by going the opposite direction. Just go through the house, through the white room, on the other side of the map, and Farah is kind of negated. They're closed in. She can't spam her damage. There's my rant for Farah for you.
I appreciate it. I'll always take the opportunity to talk about Farah anytime it is possible. But unfortunately, Garden's only one of 3 maps. Still a few other possibilities going through. Shattered Dreams still up by 2. That draw, of course, not giving any points to anybody. Sad face. But that means we have a lot more action here. This, again, is potentially our last map. If Shattered Dreams are able to claim it, they will be moving on through the losers brackets. And unfortunately, we'll be saying adieu to Castaways. So make sure, folks, before we do say goodbye, you throw in those MVP votes. If you think anybody on Castaways, anybody on Shattered Dreams is popping off, then let us know. And now, Moshi, I had a really good point, but it escapes my mind. So let's move on to perhaps my second favorite map in Lijiang Tower, Command Center. Do you think we see the Rein Orisa, Rein Zarya, something along that line?
I think Zarya may be a possible pick. I don't think there's enough long range on or to validate an Orisa play, but you never know. The double shield with maybe the Reinhardt, or maybe the Hog. Anyway, we're here on the city, in the city next to the tower. I don't know what's going to be played here. This, we could probably just are going to see the standard comps and maybe a few counter picks here and there. But in the past, these teams have been extremely willing to play mirrored compositions against each other. As we said, Castaways attempting to be flexible, attempting to kind of go off the beaten path. They saw Bastion Mercy last time, right? So they're committing everything they can to this contest here, and I'm excited to see if they bring out something unique for this round.
We'll certainly have to see if that is the case. I gotta say, I agree, but I want to see Castaways go in kind of the opposite direction. I think that some points I've really enjoyed watching them, and where they've done a little bit better have been where they haven't done the straight mirrors. I believe it was the Sim teleport coming out, the Bastion played by Chopper that we saw, that really kind of gave them a surprise factor, gave them a little bit of unpredictability. However, we have a few seconds before this window, before the doors open up. Jakarion going to be going on to the Pharah, a caster pick here. And with that, we're looking to see these two teams go head-to-head here on Night Market. Jakarion taking to the skies, trying to claim a little bit of that early damage, ult progress, rather. Chopper trying to get around, sneak, and do a little bit of infiltration with that Sombra, looking for perhaps the most optimal hack target. The anti-nade coming in from Legit Shadow, not going to quite find anybody. Alexio getting hacked. They're not going to be having that sleep dart or anti-nade. Q-Tip taking down Lamavir, however, a peculiar boop to go on to the Hammond. And with that, Vanguard going to be taking another anti-nade, but with numbers up, you got to think they're not going to be minding that too much. And right now, it doesn't seem like the side of Castaways want to pull out right away. They're still looking to play around Chopper on that Sombra. Barely going to be getting out using that translocator, playing around this health pack, and 60 spotting them out, immediately going to make them re-translocate. And with that, Jakarion finally finding 60, meaning that Sombra can have a little bit more freedom. Ship going to be taking a pin from the side of Jinja. Jakarion dropping the Rocket Barrage, claiming dash, but cleaned up by Vanguard themselves. That Diva so powerful against the Pharah. And it does not look like the side of Castaways is going to be able to claim this quite yet, despite using a few ults.
Well, that was quite a long fight. Already 40% on the point for Shattered Dreams. They've got ultimate charges on the cusp of many of them, their own. Only the nanos so far from Ana. I don't think it was the correct decision to extend that fight. They have an extremely Castaways has an extremely mobile composition right now with Pharah and with these like flanking style heroes. All 60 or Jakarion falling off the edge there. Quite unfortunate as they try to recontest.
Yeah, actually a big sleep coming in from Alexio, going to be taking the wind out of that Pharah, and off the back of that, we're going to be seeing Jinja just absolutely go and swing for it. A quick cleanup into this fight with 80% about left, or 80% progress built up for Shattered.
I'm not sure exactly what Castaways wants to be doing here. They kind of have this divey composition. They're trying to attack inside of this pagoda and just get some damage out. So I wonder if these mines can do it, but there's going to be a lot of ults coming out from the side of Shattered Dreams.
Yeah, mine's not going to be finding too much when they get pushed into a blizzard. And with that, Jinja going to be taken down. Lamavir gets brought up right again. Alexio taken down by a legit Shadow. Jakarion not having to worry about sleep darts this time around. But Lamavir almost falling off the map due to a May freeze. And then booped by Lucio. Q-Tip on top of this wrecking ball. Jakarion dropping a triple. That might help turn this fight. It's just going to be a Mercy and the Genji left on point. Dash, however, going to be focusing both them down. Vanguard versus Chopper. The support comes in from Ship, and it looks like that might just be enough for Castaways to start to make some headway here. Legit Shadow dueling their opposing Ana in a fight that eventually Alexio loses.
Definitely makes sense there, contested by the ball, right? Well, a ton of dive coming out from the side of Castaways. They've got it at the last second, which is a blessing and a curse, right? There's a ton of time for Shattered Dreams to be able to recontest, and they are going to be pressured every time, and there's no flexibility for error.
Yeah. The Nano Blade coming out from Chopper, going to be taking down Q-Tip on that. Lucio taking down Alexio. No support now for the now attacking team of Shattered Dreams. The Reinhardt going in from behind. Not sure if anybody's aware of Jinja. He's going to get knocked off. He's going to be taking a charge, actually, rather, off the map. Flutie bringing up Chopper to keep their team come back to full. And with that, the progress continues to tick up for the side of Castaways.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any swaps from Shattered Dreams yet to counter this super mobile comp. They have good stuff for that already with the McCree grenade and with May. They're going to be committing to this Blizzard here, and if the Blizzard from Dash is anything like the ones we've seen in the past, it's going to be huge. So they're going to be leaning on that for this fight.
Yeah, Ship unable to eat the Blizzard from Dash. Dash going to be claiming it. The High Noon coming out, going to be claiming Flutie. That is crucial. No res available, despite having the Valk up and online. The point's going to be flipping, with nobody there to contest.
Chopper just going to try to do a little bit of contesting on the last, and there's 2 on the point now, but against a team of 6, it's basically impossible. They did well, but that wick is burning very quick.
Yeah, it certainly will. Alexio landing a few shots into Jakarion will be the death toll for them. And Chip on this D.Va continuing to try to contest. The Earth Shatter coming out from Jinja. Not going to find too much. A little unfortunate there, but they're still going to clean Chip up either way, making them ship shape, as some might say. And with that Chopper continuing the contest right now, the D.Va bomb on point has to, you think, be a good indicator that this fight is over and the progress goes to Shattered Dreams.
I'm kind of disappointed that Castaways wasn't able to get any more time, like, in between. They spent a lot of time reevaluating their composition and switching it up to Genji and, Mercy, and it kind of paid off in the end, but it just wasn't quite fast enough, which, sometimes that's what happens. So I'm feeling like they're adjusted now to the control point meta, and they're going to bring everything they have to meet Shattered Dreams right in the face. There's so many things that can happen here when you're desperate and trying new things. Whether that's throwing them off or not will be up to the match results.
Interesting here, Moshi. We have Rein and Orisa with a Doomfist and Genji. It's kind of an interesting composition to run, I think. We're going to be seeing them both try to go in, not claiming too much damage. Dash going to be taking an anti-nade, but quickly has that wear off and continues moving forward with the rest of their team. Chip and Lamavir just getting absolutely swung on by Jinja. And Jinja getting hit by Flutie on that Lucio. Both Reinhardt's actually getting taken out by that Lucio. Q-Tip, however, continuing to go on a little bit more of a tear. Flutie hit with the anti-nade, not going to be able to heal themselves, and with that, it looks like the point's going to start by being flipped over to Shattered Dreams.
They definitely deserve to win that first point there. They've got the team, based on their team comp, they've got the composition to just kind of sit, and all of their damage is focused together, as opposed to the Castaways idea of, like, taking out the supports, but the supports are hard to deal with. They have Sleep, they have Boop, right? They're kind of bulky, and they're just not putting enough damage frontally and focusing it, as, they can't even make it through this choke point here. Something is going to have to switch for them to make it past the door, and just the focus damage that Shattered Dreams has. It's only 30%. There's plenty of opportunities for them to bring this back.
Yeah, I really like that 60 went on to the Reaper. We've been seeing a lot of McCree, a little bit of Widow out of them, but I think that this Reaper, a very good choice for these for what were a little bit more stationary tanks. And now we're going to be seeing some progress or some distance given up by Shattered Dreams. The Genji Blade coming in, the Earth Shatter from both Jinja, Earth Shattering Chopper on that Genji, and in return, Lamavir shattering to cover against that Reinhardt. 60 dropping the Reaper Death Blossom. Chip again eating dashes, blizzards. This feels so bad for this Mei. I feel like we've seen so many blizzard eats. And it doesn't stop the kills from coming through. With that, Flutie going to be getting the res up onto Legit Shadow just to keep the sustain on the point for a little bit longer. But with a lot of members missing from both sides, it's looking like Castaways might be taking a little bit more of the disadvantage. Chip going to be taking the D-Mech. Flutie now dropped as well. It's just that baby is trying to contest point. Not going to be so successful. Chip's taking a step off the map, and with that, we're going to be seeing Shattered Dreams continue to hold point.
Man, if they can take that little mistake there and make it their advantage, Castaways could potentially win this. Their numbers are like this point specifically, this fight, but their numbers are down too low now, so that's quite unfortunate. Anyways, we still see Chopper on the Genji, kind of diving in that backline. Flutie on the Mercy, definitely looking to use Valkyrie to win one of these fights. Only one ult from Vanguard. A pretty impactful one. Dash building up that Mei Blizzard, and Chip probably going to try to flank from the high ground, pressuring with whoever Chopper decides to dive on.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Flutie initiate with that Valkyrie. Coming in, the D.Va Bomb going to be going in. Mei Wall drops as soon as it hits, and the Reinhardt pin going in, the Reinhardt Shatter rather, going to be hitting onto Lamavir. But every time Jinja gets in a dangerous position, they have the nano boost for them. And he brought right back up, has the Earth Shatter. Not even going to be looking to use it right out of the gate. The Earth Shatter going to be coming out. Chopper jumping over the Earth Shatter, still able to carve just a little bit. Not going to be finding too much success as that Lucio sound barrier keeps everybody up. And the point goes over to the side of Shattered Dreams. There was a draw there for Castaways, but it's not going to be enough. Shattered Dreams takes it 3-0.
Shattered Dreams winning the series. They were on pretty much dominating the whole time. Castaways definitely not giving up, though. A close match, for the last few rounds, despite the score. Some amazing stuff coming out from both sides.
Yeah, I certainly have to agree. Have a last few moments here, folks, to make sure to get those votes in while you can. While we do a little bit of the wrap up here, I'm gonna be waiting for those MVP votes to come in nice and clear. So don't forget to drop them as well. Moshi, who do you think is a very who do you think are some good candidates for the MVP? Let's be a little bit biased here.
A little bit biased? Okay, I can be a little bit biased. Well, I think we saw some amazing plays from the tanks. Ginji doing an amazing job with his aggression, right? You, as Reinhardt, Ginja, sorry, you know you have to swing your hammer to do damage. Sometimes you feel pressured and you leave your shield up, and offense can be the best defense. So I think Ginja doing an amazing job with that. So that might be one of my MVPs. On the opposing side, I would have to say that Chopper doing a legit job on DPS, right? So we saw a bunch of different things like Reaper, and I believe he was the one on McCree. Either way, DPS player definitely doing work. Those are probably from each team who I would vote for.
I certainly agree that those were some very strong players. I think on the side of Castaways, I think we saw so many May Blizzards eaten. It didn't end up ultimately turning the fight, but I really got to give Ship some propers for having that heads up awareness, listening for those voice lines, and as soon as they go off, immediately with the right click, eating those blizzards from Dash, from Shattered Dreams. I agree. Jinja was very aggressive, was able to provide what you need from a main tank, but I think largely that's due to Q-Tip and Alexio. Alexio in particular seemed like they always had those nanos on hand whenever Jinja would just get a little too aggressive or be put in a very compromising position. So overall, I think that Alexio and Ship might have to be some of my top picks, but that's enough about what the casters think, folks. We want to see who you guys have been seeing pop off. And with that, we are just waiting a little bit. Let those votes get nice and shored in. And Moshi, do you have any highlights from the match that you think really stood out to you?
Well, I mentioned it already within the casting, but for those that missed it, on Hanamura in that draw, something that I think made a huge difference was when Ginja was nanoed on the high ground and was able to take out like 2 players on the side of Castaways, completely negating anything for that fight. Also, on the first time that they attacked, excuse me, when Chopper was just completely removed from the fight while looking to Death Blossom, like that made a huge difference for the defensive Shattered Dreams plays. From Castaways, I mean, I don't know if anything really stood out compared to Shattered Dreams, just kind of doing a little bit of domination there. We saw some amazing beats from Flutie, though, and some very good boops. And then Ship, as you mentioned, has eaten multiple Diva May Blizzards. And that can, in a different situation, that really could have changed the fights.
Yeah, and it looks like we have gotten word that our MVP is going to be Chopper, none other than the Bastion themselves hopping in. And with that, we are going to be having Chopper hop in immediately with us. Chopper, so we just saw you run Lijiang Tower. Give us a little bit of a breakdown. Why the Genji?
Well, we just kind of did it. Yeah.
I feel that at least, my friend, you're staying honest to your name. No better character to play when your name is Chopper than somebody with an actual sword, a chopping weapon, I might say. But overall, I gotta say, it looked like Shattered Dreams had your number. The one point where you guys really kind of came back was that Hanamura map. How did it feel to play Bastion? How did you feel in that moment?
Felt okay, but when I locked the legs, you know, it could have stopped me.
Yeah, I also noticed a little bit of the soldier action as well. Certainly liked it as well. Moshi, what do you got for Chopper?
Well, Chopper, how do you feel like about who else may have contributed to just the things that you did on Hanamura and the rest of the match? Like, it was fairly fairly close the whole time. And who would you vote for your team, most valuable player, opposed to yourself?
I think everybody did good and had a part, but Ship definitely. His defense is insane. Like, it's like the best defense I've ever seen in Tier 3. And like, he made the calls and we just stuck to it. And we drew. I mean, what can I say?
Sometimes that's all you can say. Now for the Castaways, this losers bracket is going to be wrapped up for you guys. But do you guys have any plans after the Overwatch All-Stars brawl, as far as, what's on the horizon for Castaways?
I will be honest with you. I don't really know, because I just kind of play the aim hero and just like shoot stuff. So like, we'll be chilling,
Yeah, certainly.
That sure is a legitimate way to train your aim in practice. Anyways, I think you guys did a great job, and I wish you luck in the rest of your stuff and competitions. I hope to see you guys back in Open Division. I know you guys did pretty good there. Is there anyone you want to shout out? Any closing words? Rolling out the red carpet for you to plug yourself or your team, and yeah, thank you so much.
Just my whole team in general. Like, they're all really good players, and may have lost, but they're kind of goated.
Well, I'm sure you guys will stick together, so I appreciate you coming out and interviewing with us today. So again, best of luck, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chopper. And with that, Moshi, a thrilling game from Castaways versus Shattered Dreams. It was a 3-0, but it was a 4-game 3-0. At least a little bit of variety there. I'm happy to let that be the way it goes out. So once again, for Castaways, hope to see you next Overwatch All-Stars Brawl. For Shattered Dreams, we'll be seeing you in the next match, the next bracket, moving up through the losers bracket. And Moshi, I guess there's nothing left to do but hit the sign off button.
Very much so. It's been a pleasure casting with you. I've been Moshi Man. You can find me on YouTube at Moshi Man and on Twitter at Moshi Man. So if you want to follow me, you can come up with like some memes, right? So that's always a fun thing. Anyways, it's been a great match, and it's been a pleasure interacting with you guys in the Twitch chat. And I thank you all for watching. So I'll send it over to you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Moshi. And for the other side of the casting desk, I have been Sir Waltham. You can catch me on Twitch or Twitter at Sir Waltham, WALTHAM. And from those of us here at the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl, we want to thank you guys for tuning in as well. Make sure, once again, if you haven't heard it enough times this match, catch us on the Discord, catch us on the Twitter. We got YouTube videos up now, so make sure to catch those as well. And always here on Twitch. We want to wish you guys a great night, and we hope you stay safe out there. Everybody,